Hi everyone, so today we are going to make this simple music player application, and as you can see it has very few widgets and it is very minimalistic. There is a text widget and then there's a container, the name of the song, and then we have a slider, and some icons. So when I click on this play button, it plays the music. Then we can go to different parts. Like I click on this, so now we can pause this, and now we will make this application from scratch. So I already created another new project on VS Code. So first thing that we do in our new project is to delete this whole section. And now we will write my app class by ourselves. So it is a stateless widget. So we'll write STL and we'll get the boilerplate code for my app. And this will return the material app. And in home, we will write the name of the home screen. So when we open the app, this screen will be the first screen. We are getting this red line under it because we haven't created it yet. Let's create a music file, music dot dot, and we're gonna just copy this import package line from here. And as you saw, there will be a lot of state changes, so we need to use stateful widget. And now we will import this music screen here. We will import it here. Now we will get started by building the UI of the application. So as you can see in our app, we have the gradient background, we have a title and a container on the name of the song, and then we have this another container where we have the slider and the icons. So let's start with the UI first. So this will return a scaffold, and inside this we're gonna have a container. So for the gradient background, we can use the decoration property of the container and set a gradient background. So in container, we have the decoration property, box decoration, and in box decoration, we have gradient. This will be linear gradient. And in linear gradient, we can have colors. So in colors, we are gonna have two colors, colors dot pink, one of a darker shade and one of a lighter shade. So colors dot pink 200. So we have set the gradient. Let's run our application, and we will be running it on Chrome because the emulator sometimes crashes and it makes the system slow. So I'll be running it on Chrome for the UI part. We will be using the audio players package, and the Flutter web doesn't support that package. So for running the whole application, we will be using the emulator, but for the UI part, let's just test it on Chrome. So as you can see, this is our gradient background in the container, and we can go to inspect and change the screen size to the size of our phone screen. Maybe we can choose pixel to XL. So this is how it is gonna look like on our phone screen. So this is kind of a jugaad that you can do for just looking at different screen sizes, and you can just run your app on web. So, and we also want to remove this debug banner. So for this, we will be writing, we'll set this to false. So this will disappear now. Okay, so now we have the gradient background. What is the next thing? We have to add another container which will contain other widgets. So in this container, so why is it important to put these commas after every closing bracket? So Flutter, it automatically formats the document. You do not have to like click or right click and format the document. So it does that by itself. So inside this container, we can have a padding widget. Let's get to 30 maybe. And inside the padding widget, we're gonna have the child, that is the container. We're gonna have another container, and inside this container we will have a column widget, and we will also set the main axis alignment and the cross axis alignment. Let me minimize this and also zoom a little. Okay, so we will set the main axis alignment to center, and cross axis alignment to center as well. So in children, we are gonna have another padding widget for our text. In this padding widget, we gonna have our text widget. So that was the name of the app. And let's style this a bit. Text style, and we will just change the color to colors.white, and font size as well. So font size can be 20, and font weight. So we now have the text. Let's see how it looks. So this has the gradient background, the container, because we did not provide any width to it. So it had adjusted itself to the next widget, that is the padding widget. So we need to provide a width to this container here. So we will write double dot infinity. So now it should be fixed. Yeah, but we want this to be on the top. So I think I used center somewhere. Okay, yeah, so we do not have to use center here in this column. We will remove the main axis alignment. Now it's on the top. So cross axis alignment is for in column. The cross axis alignment is for this axis, that is x-axis, and main axis alignment is for y-axis, and for rows that is reverse. So now we have the text. Now we want the image. Okay, so after this we will have another container, because you saw that we have a container that has rounded borders. So we have to set some border radius, circular border. So we need a container. So we need a container for that. And inside this container, we're gonna have the decoration, box, decoration, and in box decoration we have border radius. So we will set the border radius dot circular. And we also need to write the height and width. So let's take it 300 and 300 and width to be 300 as well. So I think something went wrong with the app, so we have to run this again. Now inside this container we're gonna have the image. So the image will go inside the decoration. So we'll do image, and this will be decoration image. This will be decoration image. We haven't added the assets yet, but the image will come from the assets. So we just have to write the path here. So let's add the assets. For adding the assets, you have to go to pubspec.yaml and include the assets. Include them, you have to uncomment the line here and mention the name of the folder, which is gonna be assets, and this will include all the assets. So I'm gonna make an assets folder and add the image to it. So now we have the asset image and it has been included in our project. So we can now just mention the image path here. We need to wrap this container inside the center widget to bring it to center. We will run this again. So now we have added our asset image, and the next thing that we need to do is to add the name of the song, and then we are gonna add another container. And for this container we use the decoration property and set the borders, all of the borders. We set a border radius, and but for this we just need the two corners. So now let's add that. So we need to add the text. We will add a sized box here. This will add some space between the center image and the next widget. So this is what we have so far. Now we have to add the name of the song. So we will add a size box here. So now we will add the height, and after this size box we're gonna write the name of the song. So as you can see, we have the name of the text. We will add colors dot white, font size to 26, and font weight. Now we have to, after this center widget, we have to add another widget, another container, and we're gonna use the expanded widget. So expanded widget covers whatever space is left after that widget. Like if there is a lot of space after these widgets, then it will cover the whole part. Like in this, it has covered the whole the part that is below these widgets, so it will cover that much part. So take a we'll take expanded widget, and inside the expanded widget we will take a container. And inside this container we have to again use the decoration box decoration, and color will be white. And we also have to add border radius to two of the corners. So border radius dot only, because we only need it in two corners. Left radius dot circular, 30, and in top right radius dot circular. So now we have added the expanded widget, the container. So this is how it looks, and because we earlier added the padding for all, the container that contains all these this column has a padding, so we need to remove that so that this expanded widget covers even the width from this side. So let's remove that. So let's remove the padding here. Instead of all, we can just do it only on the top. Now it should be fixed. Yeah, it has been fixed. We also need to add a sized box after this, and we need to increase the size of we need to increase it to 40, and we also need to add a sized box. So we will add the sized box here as well, just before the expanded. So this much is ready. Now we need to add these icons. These icons are in a row, so we are gonna take a row after this. So after this, inside this expanded widget, inside this container, the child will be another container. Child will be another container, and the child will be column, another column, and this will contain some children. Okay. So inside this column, we are gonna have a row. In this row, we're gonna have three icon buttons. Icon size 45. Colors dot pink. On pressed, we will leave it null for now. We will write the functions later, and the icon will be icon dot skip previous. And now we're gonna make the copy of the icon buttons. We need three icons, so we're gonna just make the copy of it. And the second icon is play arrow. So this is of a darker shade, and this is also bigger in size. And the last icon is skip next. And all of these icons are in center, like all of it. So we will set the main axis and the cross axis to be center. Let's copy it from somewhere. Just too lazy to write, so let's copy this at least. And for main, we'll write main axis alignment. Okay. Now let's see how it looks. So we have it in center, and now we have to add the slider, and now we can write the functions and everything. So let's move on to that part. We're gonna create a custom widget, and we're gonna declare some variables that we need. So in the top here, after this, we will be declaring some variables. So the first variable that we need is ball playing. So we want to know if the song is playing or not. So we'll initialize it to false. And then because when we click on our play icon, so the song starts playing and it changes to the pause. So the icon has to change. So we also need to store this data, and this is dynamic. So we're gonna store it in icon data class. We will create an object. So we'll initialize with the play arrow, and we'll later, depending on if the song is playing or not, depending on the if else condition, we will change it. Now it's time to include the packages as well. So now let's include the packages. So we need the audio players package. So this is the package that we are going to use. We will copy this from here and we have the installing instructions. We have to paste this in our pubspec.yaml under the dependencies. We have to remove this caret sign from here, and we also have to change it to 0 because there are some updates that are causing some error recently, so we have to downgrade, like we have to use the older package version. Also we have to go to Android app build.gradle. We have to change the min SDK version as well. We have to change it to 23 because audio player package supports min SDK version 23. At least we have to set it to 23. So now we are done with this change and we are done with that. So now we will also import the package here. So we have to copy this and paste it here. Apart from this, we will also import another class of the audio players package, that is audio cache. Audio cache dot. So this audio players package allows us to play without any delay, play the tracks without any delay. Because it stores, it creates a local file and stores all the assets in the cache, so it's easier to play the files. Now we will be initializing and declaring the objects. So we will declare an object of audio player and of audio cache, and because this is a music player application, so two more things are important, that is the duration and the length of the track. So that we will store and manipulate using the duration class in Flutter. So duration position is equal to new duration, and another one will be for music length. So now we have to create our custom widget slider. So we have worked with stateless widget, stateful widget. This is the first time that we're gonna create our own widget. So for that we do it using widget slider. So we are creating our own slider, and this will return a container. And the width of this container will be 300, and the child will be slider dot adaptive. Why we are using adaptive? Because adaptive will adapt based on the platform. The slider will adapt to the target platform, and this will create the Cupertino slider if the platform is iOS, and it creates the material design slider otherwise. So inside the slider we have to set a few things. Active color. So active color is the color that you see here when the slider is active. This is moving, this is blue, and this is the inactive color, that is gray. So we will set it here, colors dot, let's set it to pink only. And inactive color can be maybe the lighter shade of pink. So colors dot pink 200. Okay, and what else we have to set? The value that we will get from position dot in seconds dot to w. And we also need to set the max, which is the length of the music track. So that will get from music length dot in seconds dot to w. Okay, and because the slider is gonna move, so the value of the slider will keep on changing, and also we can jump to different positions in the slider, so we can have like on change, and we can set a value to which we will create a function so that we can jump to different values in this. And now let's create the function for that. So let's create the function void seek to val. This will be int setter. And we need to know the new position. New position. And the player has a function dot seek, so it will jump onto that new position. Now here in this on changed, gonna call this seek to val value dot to int. So now we are done with this. Now we have to do some initialization. So we will write init and we'll get the boilerplate code for this. So here we're gonna write player is equal to audio play. We're just initializing this. And cache. Now we also need two functions. We also need two handlers, that is a position handler and the duration handler, to handle the position and the duration of the track. So now let's create that player dot position handler. This will set state and we also need the duration handler, player dot duration handler. Set state music length is equal to t. So we are done with declaring the functions and the variables. Now let's add the slider widget here. So in the expanded widget we had a row, and in here in this column before the row we're gonna add the slider, and we are also gonna add, because we had this slider along with this the text widgets which show the duration of the track and also show the max length. So we will display it here. So we are gonna make another container here, and this container is gonna contain a row, and inside this container we will set the width to 500, and the child will be row. The child will be row. Inside this row we're gonna have two text widgets and the slider. So text position dot in minutes, and then we want the seconds as well. Position dot in seconds, dot remainder 60. We will add some styling to it. We will just increase the font size. We will just increase the font size to 18, and we are gonna copy this text widget. Now we have our slider. We have our slider here, and then we have our text widget, and here we have the position. Now here we have the music length. So now we are done with this part, and because the audio cache, because audio players package is not available for Flutter web, so we will not be able to run it on browser now. Okay, now let's make changes here. Okay, let's just add the track first. So this is our track. We will add it in assets. So now it's there, and now let's make changes in the icons because we need to add the functions, call the functions here. Okay, so now if our song is not playing, then we have to play it from the cache. And we have to set the state. You have to set the state of play button to icons.pause because now it's playing, and set the playing variable to true. Okay, and else if it's playing, then we have to call player.pause, and we have to set the state play button to icons.play arrow and playing to false. Okay, and because we already have this icon, we already set this icon, so we have to change it to play button so that it changes dynamically based on if the song is playing or not. So we are almost done with everything. Now let's run our application on emulator. So we'll run it on our emulator now. Okay, so the app has loaded and there is some problem with this. So let's quickly fix this. So we have to just align it to center. So we'll copy this and have it here. And paste it here. And paste it in this row as well. So now we can see that everything has been fixed. Now let's click on play. So the song starts playing and we can also jump to different places as well. Okay, so that was the music player application. What else can we do with it? We can make these skip previous and skip next buttons functional by adding more songs, and maybe we can just make a key value pair of the songs along with the image and the title, and we can make this skip next function like skip next icon button functional. So that way we'll be able to play more songs. And yeah, that was all for today. Thank you.